This is Valley News Live at 6.
Tonight in Grand Forks, police think they have their man surrounding a murder at the Budget Inn. It turns out that the accused is the victim's son.
An arrest warrant has been issued for 28-year-old Vincent Villarreal. Police say his father, 55-year-old Jeffrey Shulzitsky, was killed by a gun. He was found dead in a motel room at the Budget Inn on December 5th. Villarreal is in jail tonight in Crookston on an unrelated charge.
Another pleasant day in January, but this evening some areas will get hit with snow showers. Let's find out more on this evening's forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Hi, Andrea and Mike. Temperatures tonight still very pleasant, 20s and 30s at this hour in northwest Minnesota, and those warm all the way into the 40s for Dickinson, where if you look closely, looks like somebody may be water skiing at Lake Sakakawea. Here's a look at a few high clouds drifting overhead. A warm front is moving through, and yes, overnight we could see some isolated flurries. But as you can see here from our view at the Dakota Magic Casino, just high clouds for many areas heading into the early evening. Temperatures in Fargo sticking in the 20s with cloudy skies and light winds. It'll be a very quiet evening here and in Grand Forks. Overnight, though, we have a few changes to talk about, and really our transition to wintry weather begins tomorrow, but Friday will have the greatest impacts. Friday continues to be a first alert weather day. I'll have hour-by-hour details on those impacts and timing and all of that in a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
The body of a man was recovered after a vehicle fell through the ice on Lake Irving in Beltrami County. Deputies say that they used an underwater, remotely operated vehicle to help find the man's body around 6:30 last night. The victim's name has not yet been released.
We're learning more about a Moorhead stabbing from over the weekend, with neighbors telling Valley News Live it's a day that's still haunting them.
And then all of a sudden I hear this shrieking. And I'm like, whoa. And
loud scream.
I hear this thundering down the stairs. And then I hear, help, help, someone call the police. He's going to kill me.
Moorhead police say 27-year-old Juan Pablo Brown has not yet been formally charged, but is currently being held in the Clay County Jail on first-degree attempted murder, first-degree assault, third-degree criminal sexual conduct, and domestic assault charges. Police say the victim is still in the hospital. Brown is expected in court tomorrow.
A man is in jail after authorities say he grabbed a woman by the throat before threatening several people with a broomstick in Fargo. 52-year-old Harrison Loper is charged with second-degree assault, domestic assault, and domestic strangulation. The female victim told police that she and Loper had gotten into a fight at Churches United Friday night. Loper is accused of grabbing the broomstick and threatening the victim, as well as a staff member. If convicted, he could spend up to 22 years in prison.
The Towner County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man who stole a jar full of charity money from a gas station. The Sheriff's Department posted on their Facebook page saying the man stole a benefit jar full of bills and coins from the Cenex gas station in Candu, North Dakota, yesterday. The Sheriff's Office says this same man tried to return a bottle from off the shelf at Lake's Liquor in Devil's Lake 2 days ago. If you recognize the man or his vehicle, call the Towner County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen, 968-4350.
Police in Grand Forks want you to know about a high-risk sex offender who's changed his address. Michael McGee lives at 625 North 5th Street. He served time following a conviction on aggravated sexual assault. As a high-risk sex offender, he is most likely to reoffend.
The state legislature has introduced a bill that would ban transgender students from taking part in the high school sports for their gender identity. House Bill 1298 says any entity that receives public funding from the state is not allowed to let anyone participate on an athletic team that's exclusively for males or females. Participants can only play on the teams that match the gender on a person's original birth certificate at the time of birth. The bill also bans a publicly funded entity from sponsoring an event where athletes play in a gender-exclusive event but are not of the sex assigned to them on their original birth certificate. Those who oppose the bill say they hope this bill never sees the light of day.
It's disappointing that this type of legislation is being introduced here in North Dakota. We're in the middle of a public health crisis, and this is what some Republican legislators seem to think is a priority right now when it hasn't been an issue in North Dakota.
The North Dakota High School Activities Association already has a policy in place for transgender athletes. A student who has undergone treatment regarding testosterone is qualified to compete in the gender not associated with their original birth certificate. The bill itself isn't assigned for a hearing, meaning it may not move and may never be heard.
Supporters of legalizing recreational marijuana in North Dakota are taking another run at the issue after failing to collect enough signatures to get it on the 2020 ballot. The group filed a new petition yesterday, and if approved, backers would have a year to turn in at least 26,904 valid signatures to put it to a vote in November of 2022. Petition gatherers fell just shy of 24,000 signatures in last year's effort, and they blamed the coronavirus pandemic.
Grand Forks is transitioning to Phase 1B on North Dakota's COVID-19 vaccine prioritization plan. Those who fall in this group include people ages 75 and up, child care workers, people who work in schools, and those who live in other congregate settings like corrections, group homes, or homeless shelters. To see a full list of those who meet the criteria in this group, log on to our website, valleynewslive.com.
Minnesotans can track the vaccine rollout in the state by checking out the vaccine data dashboard. As of today, the CDC promised more than 541,000 doses of the vaccine to Minnesota. And of those doses, more than 329,000 have been shipped to providers, along with 100,000 doses to pharmacies participating in the CDC Pharmacy Partnership Program. More than 140,000 Minnesotans have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine, and over 7,000 people have gotten all doses. You can find the dashboard on our website at valleynewslive.com.
The mask mandate in Fargo will be extended for another month. A city spokesperson said the statewide mask mandate ends next week, and just in case the governor doesn't extend it, they want to make sure it stays in effect. There will be a mask mandate until February 18th in Fargo, which is when the city will reevaluate.
Home health care tools are being sent to Native American elders to keep them safe during the pandemic. The Minnesota Department of Human Services says that blood pressure monitors and other technology that supports telehealth visits are on their way to Native elders. The Northwest Indian Community Development Center, which is located in Bemidji, is one of the places that will distribute the tools. Data shows that the Native population has been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 infections and deaths during the pandemic.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, why leaving for school earlier in the coming days will pay off for those driving.
Fantastic temperatures for our terrific Tuesday as we soared into the 40s out west, and not far from that, look at Grand Forks, 39 gorgeous degrees today. Wintry weather is on its way. We'll have the storm's impacts, timing, and the latest right after this.